we will be talking about critic paper presentation. So I researched one of the article or study entitled Interactive E-Learning Portal for Enrichment of Conceptual Understanding of Grade 8 Learners in Physics. It was written by Michael Leonard Di Lubiano. It was being published year 2018 at Benaventura Alindi National High School, City Schools Division of Tayabas. So, the study is all about the use of interactive e-learning portal. It is a sort of an experimental method employing the use of pre-test and post-test and interactive games and quizzes. The study conducted at Luis Palad National High School, which has the biggest population in the secondary public school in the division of Tayabas, Quezon, Calabarzon. So I like the study because the study is very interesting because it addresses the challenges of the students that they face the complexity of the subject and physics. So the traditional teaching method may not meet the needs of all the learners. And this research suggests that e-learning platforms can offer a more engaging, interactive, and personalized experience by enhance conceptual understanding in physics. So as we all know, no, this was being published year 2018, but if I read the duration of the article, it was being studied year 2014 to 2015. So during that time, multimedia are not yet very introduced to us. So during that time, we have the traditional method of teaching, like our teachers will gonna discuss, they will present their instructional materials in front of us, and they gonna ask us. After that, we will be having our quiz or assignments or others. So this study is something like finding some way aside from the traditional method. So it is more likely introducing the online world. This is the starting of introducing the online world, as we all know that websites or school portals are very rampant nowadays. So during that time is not that very famous pa. So there are theoretical and conceptual framework of this study. So first is um, engagement through multimedia learning. So when we talk about theoretical, it is more like theory. So when we talk about theory, it is more likely the the understanding lang inside the classroom. So in this study, it is more likely engagement through the multimedia learning. It's not just like the theory lang di ay, but we still have mm, the understanding beyond theory. So this is the most understanding of the multimedia or the online world. So it is more likely the engagement or the engaging activity compared to the traditional method, which is the discussion inside the classroom. Second is the improvement of conceptual understanding. Go back to number one, the engagement through multimedia learning. So let's move on to the improvement of conceptual understanding. When we say about conceptual, that was already our understanding. So it really addresses physical touch, or it really addresses on the job. It really addresses the hands-on exercise in order to enhance the concepts or in order to emphasize the understanding of that subject. So number three is the potential for broader application and further enhancement. So this study, there is also a potential. When we say potential, there is also a big probability to give enhancement to the education of the Department of Education, or to the Commission of Higher Education, that it addresses that there is this another way to engage the students better than the traditional way, which is the discussion inside the classroom. So it is more likely there is also an opportunity for this, because in that way we can able to to engage, and we can able to relate it we can able to relate that in so many ways aside from theory. So conceptual understanding, in short, it is something like it was our idea na that it really need enhance, or it really needs a focus by doing such things in order to realize the situation. Okay. The problem of the problem of the research is that the study addresses the challenge improving grade 8 students conceptual understanding of physics, which can be difficult using traditional methods. It explores whether an interactive e-learning portal featuring hyperlinked lectures, games, quizzes, and simulations can better enhance students' understanding of physics compared to conventional teaching approaches. So, that's their way to express. So, they have to find other way aside from the conventional teaching approaches, which is the traditional method. So the study is need to have an experiment if it's possible that there is this more engaging activity compared to purely discussion inside the classroom. So my reaction is that I appreciate the study's focus on improving grade 8 students' understanding of physics, as traditional methods may not fully engage them. The use of interactive e-learning portal with multimedia tools like lectures, games, and simulations seems promising for making complex concepts more accessible and engaging. However, it would be helpful to explore the long-term impact of this approach on students' retention and ensure the portal is accessible to all learners. So meaning to say, yeah, the research is good, the experiment is good, but the problem is that accessible in a longer year in a longer time. So maybe somehow they can have the okay, we can do some other research that we can do some other experiment pa that the portal is long lasting. So that's my point, because this is just on an experiment. And yeah, that's true that the experiment was successful and it's more engaging, but what I am trying to say is that the maintenance of the portal or the website, because that is very rampant now, for that is very the issue nowadays, that yes, the schools have portals, the schools have their own websites, but the problem is we cannot access, we are not that comfortable access, we are not that comfortable to use. It's because there are many bugs. Okay, next is the methods they use. They have their selection of participants, experimental method, data collection and instrumentation, and sampling, well structured and appropriate for the study's goal. But there is room for further exploration of the impact and term of intervention. So, as I have said earlier, that the study is good, the experiment is good, but it really needs an intervention. It really needs exploration, because the portal is not that steady pa. It's not that it's not that introduced pa to anybody. So there is this need to explore pa and intervention. So when we now let's move on to the participants. So the participant of the study were grade 8 again, students from Luis Palad National High School in Tayaba City. A total of 90 students participated, with 45 students in the experimental group who used the interactive e-learning portal, and 45 students in the control group who were taught using traditional method. The students were selected from middle heterogeneous classes, and they were matched based on the average grades in science 7 and pretest scores to ensure the balanced group. So the participants were chosen from, so my reaction is that the participants were chosen from average grade 8 classes, which help balance academic levels. However, the sample is uh, a size of 90 students may not be presented all the students. A wider range of students from different school could give a better view of the results. Maybe it is true that the experiment is successful, it's because there is just only a few numbers of the students that were being experimented. But the reality is that ha- uh, the reality is that what if there were many students who will use the portal? Is the portal accessible? So maybe they can have their they can have thorough investigation pa regarding the portal. Is that accessible when everyone from grade 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 will use? No, there is no grade 12 pa that time. So we're gonna use when every students will gonna use at the same time. Is the portal still okay or functioning? That's my point of view. Okay, let's move on to the procedure and data analysis. The study involved grade 8 the study involved two groups, grade 8, the experimental group, and the control group. So both groups were pre-tested and post-tested to measure their conceptual understanding of physics. So my reaction is that providing more details on the statistical method used is important because it helps readers understand how the researcher analyzed the data and reached their conclusion. Without this information, the study may appear unclear, which can affect its credibility. I did not say that it is unclear for me the study, but maybe some of the data it should be presented in the article. It's because this was an experiment, and according to the experiment it was being successful. But how come it becomes successful when in fact part of the data there, I mean part of the presentation there, part they wrote in the article is that the the control group and the control group and the experimental group. So what was the statistical methods? The what are the quizzes example that they presented? What are the topics that they are presented? So I think that's it. Thank you.